Starting when?
Right now.
Oh, hello.
We're
hello.
live.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hey.
Welcome to another LP Alliance Solidarity stream. We are LP Alliance, an Inter-Caucus coalition, rebuilding the Libertarian Party and revolutionizing the liberty movement. Philip McCombs is first. My name is Amanda Griffiths. I'm joined by the chat. I'm joined by Kyle Davis. Kyle, how are you?
I was fine, and then as you started to talk, suddenly I was coughing and dying. So
I have that effect.
Yeah.
Let's
Murderous.
get this shared. Good evening, Phil. Good evening, everyone. Look at that. What are we talking about tonight, Kyle? We got a report. We got a couple of reports. We have a report and an addendum to the report.
So we have the Audit Committee supplemental report to the board for, and that's how that file's name ends, and also the final independent audit revised. What these are the reports from the independent audit of finances, et cetera, from last year and the year before, as well as the Audit Committee's report on what was going on. So I have these.
Very good.
The one's 4 pages, and the other one's 18. But the 18, I seriously doubt we're going to go through line item by line item.
Oh, I want to. I'm joking. I don't. It's an audit report, guys. Look, when I think of a fun Wednesday night, the first thing that comes into my mind is Libertarian audit report. That is, there is nothing that I would rather be talking about or doing than going through a Libertarian Party audit report. That sounds like so much fun, like even more fun than a normal audit report, because it's libertarians doing it. So I think I'm ready for this to be one of our most popular live streams ever.
Well, just to Hody there, we are beginning, and this is going to take some time for a number of reasons. We are putting all of our episodes up as actual podcastable things so that you'll be able to listen through Apple or through Spotify. So if you don't get to catch it live, definitely come back and grab it some other time, because as Amanda just pointed out, this is definitely the most riveting content ever made for LPA.
Some of our early episodes are up already, at least on Spotify. Kyle has to claim them on Apple Podcasts, but on Spotify, if you go to LP Alliance Podcast, you will see some of our early work. You can catch up on it. And then we will make the workers and the gulags work faster.
You can find Babby Amanda before the hair color change.
Video content.
And wearing like a cardigan.
So green cardigan. Yeah. It's so you watch all our video content. It's fantastic. Y'all are gonna have a blast. What are we starting with? Oh dear, that's large.
What she said.
Which one are we starting with? We're starting with the. There's 2 parents in that title. I feel like it's a little over the top.
Technically, there are 4 parents.
Well, there are 2 parent sections.
There are 2 parentheticals.
Parent is short for parenthetical. What are you?
Parent is its own word, actually. A parent is a single opening or closing bracket.
Stop being such a parent, Kyle.
So this one is the. Whoops. I think we should do the audit committees first. So I'm actually going to swap this.
Okay.
The audit committee's supplement to the SIC and everything else is very short. So, well, relatively.
You want to do this in voices? The people like the voices.
The people do like the voices. I'm not against voices.
Okay. Kyle's Russian accent has gotten better since he's been reading communist fan fiction to me.
It's true. It's true. Comrade. I assume that's big enough for you to see.
Yes, it is.
Hector, too goddamn
Hector.
bad. You get
Hi,
you get a hey from me too.
Dear Lord, that is a loud motorcycle. Okay.
You think it's a motorcycle? Turns out it's a 1984 Honda with a fat muffler.
Not true. I can see it.
It could still be a Honda. I mean, we have to wait for somebody to give a voice in the chat, or you got to start with a voice.
I thought you were going to start with a Russian accent.
Okay. Of the committee's supplement report for August 10th, 2025 LNC meeting. After reviewing the initial 2024 independent audit results, It was noted by the Audit Committee that a substantial loss regarding the 2024 convention appeared in the Statement of Activities report as follows. Convention revenue, $580,398. Conventions and event expenses, $762,178.
That's like your Bukharin voice. That's not Lenin.
You didn't say Lenin, you said Russian voice.
Okay, fine. Let's see Russian voice.
It's also, like, as you know, there are different Lenin voices depending on what's happening. Upon the review of transactions in QuickBooks, the following revenue and expense amounts were noted. Convention revenue, $580,398, which is the same. Nothing changed there. Conventions and event expenses, $478,520. For those of you who are bad at math, that's...
$762,178 is more than $478,520
by about $283,000. So that's what this is about. This I have read this one. We're going to go through how this happened, and there are some important caveats to mention in here. There's a breakdown of how this happened as far as staff. There is a process issue here. So it is going to mention the actual staffers who, quote, fucked up, but it is not on that staffer by themselves or anything else. I want to make that very clear here. The issue is that somehow, sometime between 2022 and 2024, we lost the ability to do basic, auditing. See QuickBooks summary of expenses by vendor below. We're not reading this one.
I want to see some of them though. Let's see. Spikecoin.com, cancel production, Amazon, Hannah Kennedy reimbursement, DC Mobile Notary.
There are a couple important things here. Audio Visual Group LLC, for those who don't know, is the group that has historically done our audio visual work for the National Convention. They usually do all of it. This is about what they have historically charged for all of it. It's slightly higher than last time, but that's kind of expected with everything else.
They did fly Frontier. I mean, budgeting.
So, what is Classic Sound? Classic Sound got $53,000.
Grubhub got $528. That is a lot of grub.
So many hubs. So Classic Sound is a sound system rental service. So, like, they're for in-person sound system rental. So apparently all of our speakers and things were $53,000 and weren't included through the group that's historically done this? That's weird.
More friends.
So many friends.
More friends of the LNC at the time.
So you pointed out Grubhub, which I'm not even grokking at the moment. That's fine. But going down, Instacart and DoorDash are also here. Pick
one, guys. If you use one, then you get membership perks.
So there's $1,100 in food ordering, which it's 5 days. There's a lot of people there. That's not a big deal. It's a little funny that you couldn't send one of the 20 people to go pick up the food, but so there's a Taco Bell.
There. Yeah, your favorite, Kyle.
Hell yeah. Tatiana's Pizza, Zazzle, which, whatever. And then Trump actually paid back $17,500. So the thing that is weird here, if you total these up, is that this is $478,520. The estimate for this was more like $350,000. So the budget got blown by like $130,000. That sucks. Given, after this update, we did make about $100,000 on it, but we should have made close to $250,000 on it. So that's rough. That's a big loss. But I have whined enough now, so now it's time for Amanda with a voice.
Do you want a particular voice?
I actually liked your British one before.
The Audit Committee found that this expense discrepancy between the audit and QuickBooks was a result of a 2024 functional expense allocation that appears to be materially overstated at 30% of total unallocated expenses.
We'll miss you, Elmo.
Staff reviewed the process of estimating expense allocation by function and determining if those estimates needed to be adjusted for 2024 and subsequent years. See results below. July 17th, 2025 email from Hannah Kennedy to Rich Bowen, Stephen Nikela, and Paul Dar. 1. I broke down the percentages for each individual staff member, including staff that only work part of the year, and using the IT department as a monolith. 2.
I'm sorry, Hannah, that you are now Elmo forever in LPA lore.
2. I multiplied each staff member's total hours for the year by their percentage allocation. 3. I summed up the hours for each category across all staff members to calculate the total hours worked. 4. I divided the category hours by the total hours to get the percentage breakdown across all the staff and rounded to the nearest whole number. Based on the hourly process, these are the results. Campaign and candidate, 5%. Communications, 8%. Membership, 20%. Convention and events, 5%. Staff ballot access, 3%. Who cares? Staff projects and other, 14%. Affiliate support, 8%. Management in general, 25%. Fundraising and acquisition, 12%. July 18, 2025 email from Hannah Kennedy to Rich Bowen, Stephen Nikela, and Paul Dar.
She'll be British now.
That one was hurting your throat, huh?
That was terrible. Coming back with updated numbers so you all can ponder. This is the same process but broken down by salaries paid in 2024. Candidate and campaign, 3%. Communications, 6%. Membership, 19%. Convention and events, 5%. Ballot access, who cares, 3%. Staff projects and other, 15%. Affiliate support, 8%. Management and general, 26%. Fundraising and acquisition, 15%. After consultation with Hannah Kennedy, everyone agreed that the estimates broken down by the second scenario above more accurately reflected actual results. Adjustments have been made to the audit report, specifically in the 2024 Statement of Activities, page 4, and Statement of Functional Expenses on page 6, based on new estimates calculated. Oh dear, there's more. Based on these adjustments, expenses on the Statement of Activities report were changed as follows. Candidate and campaign programs from $104,958 to $63,027. Communications and membership from $241,955 to $294,741. Convention and events from $762,178 to $533,279. Ballot access, who cares, from $205,196 to $146,492. This is riveting, isn't it? Special projects and other programs from $29,684 to $130,320. Affiliate support from $16,773 to $67,090. Management and general from $143,246 to $218,722. Fundraising from $313,667 to $363,986. Submitted 3 August 2025. Rich Bowen Chair, Doug Nebel.
So, Hector says that I'm pulling numbers out of my ass, and Ken has responded with the fact that he was on the COC when DC was signed, and it was supposed to be $350. Angela McCardle found $150,000 she wanted to spend, and she spent that money. So instead of making a $250,000, we made $100,000. That's what happened. I do, however, want to make a little note here. Candidate and campaign programs, $60,000 on the year. We spent $300,000 on communication and membership. Ballot access dropped by $50,000 from what we expected. And then our fundraising was $363,000. We spent $364,000 to bring in a little over $1 million.
Kilos, Joe. Pounds convert to kilos. Try to keep up.
So we spent $60,000 on our presidential candidate, basically. Actually, across all of our campaigns. We spent $300,000 for communications and membership, whatever that actually stands for. But this one right here is quite interesting. We thought we spent $30,000 on special projects and other programs, and it turns out we spent $130,000. That's an additional $100,000 for pet projects, effectively. You see the issue here? We got $50,000 total across 51 affiliates, but we spent $130,000 on special projects. Look at that. Hector, there was no need for extra AV. That's kind of part of the problem. We spent $100,000 to get Trump there, effectively. So we took $100,000 from the people to give to Donald J. Trump Orange Esquire. So, anything else you want to say on this one?
We can switch over. I just think this is part of why the membership should be doing the cause work and doing the activism work, is so that then we don't have all these secret special pet projects that only a few people in leadership kind of like.
Yep. Kyle can't read. Brother. Here's who has done all of our audiovisual in the past. Here's where we spent $53,000 additional on another group for reasons. There was no reasons.
For no reason.
This DuPont hotel bill was expected to be under $200,000. The additional $80,000, $90,000 there was Donald Trump and the security for Donald Trump. Angela's admitted it. This has been talked about repeatedly. This is not in question. Pay attention.
Yeah. There's you. Look at you.
There's you instead.
Put me down.
I'm trying.
Put me down.
I'm trying.
You're not. You're not trying hard enough.
I am.
That was terrifying. I never want to do that again.
That one's on purpose.
So mean. This is what I have to put up with. This is why I'm accepting new revolutionary sidekick applications.
Sidekick. Oy vey.
To the side. All right, this is the independent auditors report. In case the last report, don't worry, we're not just doing audit reports tonight, guys. We're gonna have more fun. But in case
also,
this is
Ken, if you go find that
appetizer.
contract, and since that one's public, we will absolutely show it on screen.
We have to eat our vegetables before you get to eviscerate me for my ideas. So let's keep eating our vegetables.
Right. Libertarian National Committee Incorporated. The Libertarian Party, a not-for-profit organization. Financial statements years ended December 31st, 2024 and 2023.
You got to lean into it, Kyle. I can hear you. You've done much better when we've been on the phone.
Get down! Opinion. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of Libertarian National Committee Incorporated, a nonprofit organization, which comprise the statement of financial position as of December 31st, 2024 and 2023, and the related statements of activities, functional expenses, and cash flows for the year that ended, and the related notes to the financial statements. In our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material aspects the financial position of Libertarian National Committee Incorporated as of December 31st, 2024 and 2023, and the changes in its net assets and cash flows for the years that ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. Good Lord. Done enough Russian accent that it's bleeding into my
It's really hard.
painful Austrian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's free to call it, Kyle. It's free to call it.
It's true.
Yeah.
It, for anybody of Mexican descent, this is what I believe your accent is. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audits in accordance with the auditing standards generally accepted in the United States of America. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of the report. We are required to be an independent of Libertarian National Committee incorporated to meet our ethical responsibilities in accordance with the relevant ethical requirements relating to our audits. We believe that the audit evidence to have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide for a basis of our audit opinion. This one, do we actually care about their responsibilities?
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay. No, it's fine. I can take
It's
over
fine.
if you want.
No, it's fine. Responsibilities of management for the financial statements. Management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America, and for the design, implementation, and maintenance of internal control relevant to the preparation and fair presentation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, management is required to evaluate whether there are conditions or events considered in the aggregate, with a difficult English word, that raise substantial doubt about Libertarian National Committee Incorporated's ability to continue as a going concern within 1 year after the date that the financial statements are available to be issued. Auditors' responsibilities for the audit of financial statements. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but it is not an absolute assurance and therefore is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with the generally accepted auditing standards will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than one from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal control. Misstatements are considered material if there's substantial likelihood that, individually or in the aggregate, they would influence the judgment made by a reasonable user based on the financial statements.
I can take over for this.
Boy, that was rough on the side.
In performing an audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We identify and assess the risks of material misstatement of the financials. I'm laughing at Joe.
Paulo has killed Elmo. Frida Kahlo has sat down with the public broadcasting system.
Financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, and design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks. Such procedures include examining on a test basis evidence regarding the amounts and disclosures in the financial statements, obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of Libertarian National Committee Incorporated's internal control. Accordingly, no such opinion is expressed. Evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of significant accounting estimates made by management, as well as evaluate the overall presentation of the financial statements. Conclude whether, in our judgment, there are conditions or events considered in the aggregate, it's not a very difficult word, that raise substantial doubt about Libertarian National Committee Incorporated's ability to continue as a going concern for a reasonable period of time. We are required to communicate with those charged with governance regarding...
Apparently required is...
Go to hell. Among other matters... Feck off. Among other matters, the planned scope and timing of the audit, significant audit findings, and certain internal control-related matters that we identified during the audit. There's some weird-ass signature from Millville, New York.
Layman Flynn Valero, CPAs PLLC.
Dated 14 April 2025.
Ooh,
we got a question from Joe.
I'm killing Elmo. He's already dead.
Okay.
I think Arnold would be a better husband. So there's my breakdown.
Fantastic. Thanks for contributing that.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Now there's a shitload of numbers for a very long time.
I don't think we read the numbers. I think we analyze the numbers.
Sure.
This works.
So, as of December 31st, we were up $190,000 for cash and cash equivalents. And we were down, and we were also up, $20,000 for expenses and other assets. Thereby, our total current assets went up by about $208,000. The KVF brought in nearly 400 grand. If you knock 400 grand off of this, we're at $100,300 for our total assets at the end of the year last year, meaning we lost $200,000 in 2024. 2024 is when we were paying, by we, I mean Angela McArdle, was paying Freedom Calls, and by Freedom Calls, I mean Austin Padgett, to do nothing. Make calls, and we lost $200,000. The staff that had been there in the past, and I've gone back and checked these numbers, had us at the point where we were making $300,000 a month. We lost 200 grand last year. That's what this comes down to. And without major changes, we're going to see these assets drop even further. We're not looking at 98,000 at the end of this year. We're looking at even lower because the donations have, somewhat leveled, but they're still bad. The membership is no longer falling as quickly, but it's still falling. People are pissed. This is a thing where we absolutely have got to fight. If you want the LNC to survive as the LNC, donations are the only thing that's going to do it. Bring in members. Members bring in new donations. It's rough. 2021 ended with our highest membership and some of our highest money ever. Literally, we were at 3 times the membership, Dave. So it's rough.
Kyle, I have it again from Hector.
Actually,
exaggerating again.
As someone who's actually on the data committee and actually looks at these numbers, 2024 is the only time we have ever lost money going into a presidential year, ever. Because normally during presidential years, the membership actually swells, and as the membership swells, we get more money from more members.
But Kyle, Chase was such a bad candidate. That's why the membership didn't grow.
And as we've seen, as we've looked at the graphs before, we were on a very downward trajectory. Chase came in and we leveled out some, but still negative. Chase goes away in November and we drop straight down again. This is the first time ever anyone has fucked up as the LNC bad enough. I wasn't involved in the LP until after the convention. I've been involved in the LP since 2000, Hector. Harry Brown brought me in.
Kyle's
the fuck are you talking about?
Kyle's very old. Kyle's a dinosaur. He's a Kyle-saur.
Yeah. Kylosaurus Rex!
Joe, candidates have brought in all the things up to now, and that's not good because we don't have candidates all the time. So that's why members should be more evangelists for the cause, and we need to give them the opportunities to do that so that candidates can excel even more than they already have. And let's face it, they can excel way more than they already have because we haven't been doing cause work, and we need to be doing that in order to have the membership grow. Hector admits that Chase wasn't the problem, which is true and good of him.
Just because I just want to think about Hector's work right now. Oh man, Libertarian Unity is definitely working well. Look at this content.
It's a lot of content.
This is the group that Angela McArdle has set up that Hector's working with, guys.
That's the website?
Yep. If you can't see the top because of the way they share tabs, but this is not secure because their fucking certificate is expired. Fucking amateurs.
Didn't they just release or launch the website?
Yeah.
How can their certificate expire if they just launched the website?
Because the standard for those certificates now is actually 3 months.
Oh, wow.
So if you don't constantly rotate, you can have this problem. I did not get to vote for Brown in 2000 because I was too young, Craig. But Harry Brown remains to this day one of the greatest libertarian candidates we've ever had. And I will stand by that, and I will fight people.
I'll just fight people generally, not just about Harry Brown, but just really about anything.
Pretty much anything, whatever.
Yeah. What else did we learn?
All right, so our property and equipment. Land, exactly the same. Building, exactly the same, which we found out to be false. Roof is collapsing. Furniture equipment, exactly the same. Computer equipment, exactly the same. I'm in IT-ish. And thereby I have an idea of how much the servers, etc. we have are worth. We're talking about like 14th gen Dells. That's the like era we're looking at. To put that in perspective, 4 of those runs like $6,000. $36,000 there is high, and they definitely depreciated across that year. Computer software, $135,000. I'm not going to argue that one because I don't know what software they're including as money. Accumulated depreciation, it went up to $374,000 instead of $350,000. Sorry.
It's a deprecation.
I did.
Defecation, but
no, deprecation is a word.
I know, but you used it incorrectly here.
I did because I've been programming all day and I was in programming mode in my head still.
In programming mode
I
means
apologize
spell
to
words
the people.
incorrectly, as we learned this morning as well. Kyle spelled a word incorrectly and his code didn't work.
It's true.
Repeatedly.
I spelled soldier without an I. No, only once. I had written it 12 times and one time I didn't put an I. One time it was solder. I overwhelmingly agree, Archie. The old IS committee also agreed, but starting with JBH, no one else has agreed. So instead, our software is expensive. So total property equipment net, we lost 20 grand there, but our total assets went down 200 grand. Again, because we're bad at money.
Well, libertarians are bad at this. Is unacceptable, guys. It's embarrassing. Libertarians, we're supposed to be about fiscal responsibility, and this is what we do. I mean, McCardle definitely did spin like a Republican. It's true. Mm-hmm. But holy heck.
Hector has linked the same website that I pulled up in a tab in Chrome with no extensions because that's the only way I'll use Chrome.
Is it still broken?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He did throw the www in front of it, so maybe they just have libertarianunity.net not properly redirecting, which would also be fucking hilarious and an amateur move, but it doesn't matter. Our liabilities, though, went up $160,000. Yay! What's it mean when your liabilities go up 160 grand and your fucking assets go down 200 grand? A net loss of 350 grand.
Deprecation.
I cannot in any of my browsers use HTTP and not HTTPS, guys. Everything is set up to automatically go to HTTPS because this is not the 90s.
Do you know how to type, Kyle? You can just type HTTP.
It will automatically redirect in the browser to HTTPS. I would have to go change files to be able to go to an HTTP. It's not happening. Net assets, $200,000 change.
What else? What did we learn?
Sadness, woe. So here's our revenue and support. I did, to correct the thing earlier, we did get $400,000 from the KVF. I forgot that $100,000 of it did come this year rather than last year. My mistake there. That's 300 grand, not 400 grand. So, contributions and membership were under $1 million. Something we have not seen since the 80s. Technically, that is inflation corrected, but still, it's pathetic. So our total for last year was $1.84 million. Our net investment return was under $1,000. Our net assets released from restriction, 0. This is not good. We look at our expenses. We're at $1.2 million. Supporting services expense, $1.8 million. This is horrible. This is worse than like your high school friend wanted to start a landscaping business bad.
What?
This is laughably pathetic. You know, the LNC now is trying to fix this, but they don't realistically have the time to turn membership around yet. So what they're doing is they're being forced to cut and cut and cut. At the end of the day, and this is going to piss some people off, and I don't really care, what the LNC is in its current form is an ad agency.
Bad
The
one.
return
Really
on...
bad.
What?
A bad one.
A really bad one. The return on spend is all that the LNC gets right now. Now, we can include, you know, like non-measurable gains there, like if we get people elected, etc. But we're down 1,000 people being elected. And we're down over $1 million a year in revenues. We're down 2/3 of our membership. There is no way to paint this as anything other than an utter embarrassment to libertarianism. Single worst LNC of all time.
So far.
The worst LNC of your life
So
yet.
far, yes. Where are the charges for functionality and embarrassment?
I don't know. It's rough. Revenue and support in 2023 was up at 1.128 mil. So what we saw is that revenue and support technically went up by adding $950,000 from other things. Contributions and membership were at $980 last year, down from 1.1, basically 1.13 from the year before. We're talking about $250,000 less contributions. We're talking about $20,000 a month worth of memberships lost. I don't have words to express how disappointed I am. Touching on a personal thing here for a second. I had gotten to the point of being black-pilled with the LP. Had looked at quitting. Had, decided that maybe there is no way to fix things. Chase getting the nomination last year is the thing that made me pull my head back up. I had gotten to the point where I was fighting, where I was trying to organize people and do other things, but I wasn't sure there was even a reason to fight for it. And Chase winning showed that there are some people left in the Libertarian Party who are willing to fight for libertarian ideals. I got involved with more organizing groups, and I found out about LPA, and I joined LPA.
You
And at this
initially
point,
came as a scout.
I did. One of the organizing groups out there was like this.
Now LP Solidarity. It's
yeah, it's true. To be specific, they were like, this Phil Ryan guy may be an idiot. We need to make sure that he's not fucking things up. Because Phil was very much at the very beginning of LPA the face that people were seeing because Phil was pushing for it. And Amanda came on, and Amanda fixed the name, sort of. I would argue that LPA is not the greatest possible name.
Tom Rowlett called the people who were involved with LPA the allies, and so my suggestion came from Tom Rowlett's genius.
And the organization has done incredible work. And I'm not black-pilled anymore. Now I'm just pissed off. And so I hope that everybody watching can also get to that same point of no longer wanting to quit and lay down, but instead being really pissed off and willing to work as hard as needs to.
Tell your LPA story, Kyle. Your LPA origin story.
I thought we kind of just did.
Oh, that was an abridged version.
It was very abridged, but
it was.
I lurked for like 2 months and just watched, and started to come to the weekly meetings and listen to things, and legitimately, the three most active people at that time, and I actually looked through the internal levels today, which measures how many messages sent over time. 3 of the 5 most active people to this day were exciting enough for me to be like, this is the way forward. This is the only way we save it. And so I'm, being a sappy little bitch, but that's my honest opinion on it. It's okay. For being sappy, Amanda will hit me later.
I will. That's why I wanted you to tell the story. Archie, it was abridged too far. Wonderful wordplay. I just know that Kyle likes stories. He likes telling stories. So I wanted to give him a chance to do that.
I'm not sure what else you want in that story.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you were going to have like tales of daring do or just, make something up and I would have to correct you. Daring
do? I joined the group and they were surrounded by bears. Came in with a convoy. Dropped an airstrike directly on the lead bear. They all scattered.
That's true. We should each have a different version. Phil says our origins
story.
Our origins should be kept secret lore, and I agree. I think that we should all have like a different account of how LPA began long ago.
Oof. I'm reading Dave's 3 messages back to back here. I'll throw them on screen so you can read too. From the FEC, 1 out of 3. The LNC had $255,395 cash on hand at the end of 2022. From January 2021 to December 2022, the LP had raised over $4 million. The LNC had $465,000 cash on hand at the end of 2024. From January 23 to December 24, the LP raised $7 million, but $3.9 million came from affiliated committees. $3.5 million was party-coordinated expenditures. As of June 2025, cash on hand has dropped to $227,000. Contribution refunds are at $415,000. Party-coordinated expenditures are at $2.7 million. $3.7 million in total receipts, but $577,000 in contributions. In the event you are, as I am often accused of being, living in your mom's basement without any actual job or anything else, this is bad. We need to raise money, we need to raise members, and we need to do it now. So I'm going to hide sort of both of us for the moment. I'm hiding. I'm so scared. So scared. There you go. There's a support the LPA. If you want to give it to us, we would love you. That's a lie. Amanda doesn't love things.
I do love things. I love the people that are watching. I love them so much. And I love all the people in LPA. And I love you, gentle viewer.
She loves one thing and
know
one
that.
thing only, and that's revolution.
I knew you were going to say that. But, the people are the revolution, Kyle. And so for me, there's no difference. There's LPA and the people, and you, gentle viewer, you're the revolution. I want you to know that.
We've seen a ton of big donors leave. I had stopped donating. I am again donating, but it's a big hole. At the end of the day, what this shows beyond all reasonable doubt is that the fusionist strategy is a failure. It ran 2/3 of our members off, and it has done nothing positive for this party.
Joe, you're my M and my F and my K all in one. I want you to know that.
You were 3 Ks for her, Joe.
That's terrible. He means kill, by the way. That's FMK. Well, and the way that we do this, again, it can't just be candidates, because we cannot afford to just look to candidates to be our saviors. Again, first of all, that's never a winning strategy for an ideological party. That's how you get Trump, when the candidate becomes the party. Secondly, a candidate, we've been through this, a candidate can, and it's very important that we continue to run candidates, especially for president. A candidate can appeal to certain segments of the population at certain times, right? The membership in your communities, among your friend groups, right? You are the evangelists here. You are the ones that know how to speak to individual targeted populations. When we act together to do that, then we are able to buoy the party and the cause in order to propel us to electoral victories and to media attention and to all the rest.
You pronounce buoy weird.
Boy.
New York Jewish Amanda.
Boy. Do you have more to say on the audits?
They break down our expenses, and this goes for a long way. Shit. I think I can get everything on the screen with this. Not quite. But
Dave says, from the FEC total receipts, the sum of all contributions and other receipts received by committee during a filing period. That's individual donors, transfers from affiliated committees. What are we looking at, and why does it matter?
this is our statement of functional expenses for last year. So it breaks out the actual spending here. So like for our candidate campaign, we had $38,000 in direct program expenses, $12,000 spent on salaries and wages, $7,000 on professional fees. Like, this is awful compared to years past. For membership, we paid $100,000 for our communication and membership salaries and wages. We paid $20,000 in salaries for the convention and events. It, like, when you look at these numbers and you look at, so we spent $400,000 in salaries last year, $980,000 in direct program expenses. $230,000 in professional fees.
By the way, guys, Kyle's not trying to find a way to make this interesting. When he's pausing, he like really likes this stuff. He's very into reading off numbers.
I am. So feel free to push me along.
It's funny. It's honestly funny.
So we spent $33,000 in postage and shipping. And 9,000 of that was on candidate campaign communication membership. But we spent 5,000 on special projects. and we spent $8,500 on management in general. Fundraising got $5,000.
It's very bureaucratic. It's very, the funding trickles all the way to the top, and very few other places.
So, comparing to the year before, we spent $28,000 on candidate and campaign in 2023, and we spent $63,000 in 2024 when we had a presidential election, Senate races, Congress, etc., all over the country. That is pathetic. We cut $125,000 in staff last year. It's ridiculous. Hey, telephone and data services. We know where some of those went.
I think people realize that the spending and just the way that finances were done during the McArdle administration regime, what have you, were bad. And this report kind of just tells you, sketches the contours, right, of part of how bad it was.
Oof.
What?
Change in net assets, 2023, $138,000.
That we want to be doing with these streams as well is focusing on what we're doing going forward, right? And it's important to read these reports because we want to see like what the problems are. But then in terms of addressing them, there are several things that can be done. Do you have more on this?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because Kyle thought you all were ready for this. So we're gonna dive into a proposal.
He's throwing this one purely on me. We think you're ready for this.
Well, no, I didn't know. Okay, and then Kyle put his faith in you, the people, and said no, they're ready to hear this. So
if you're not, you'll eventually get tired of hearing it and go home to Germany.
Anyway, I like that show. Yes, Contours. So as you know, we've been going through various changes that we can make to the LNC. And last week we talked about that 55-member LNC where you have the 4 officers and then 1 officer from each state. It doesn't necessarily have to be the chair. I'm assuming that the chair would be the norm, but that doesn't have to be true. We want to switch gears and talk a little bit about affiliates more generally. So I have said this before on social media and received, dual responses. One thing that is very important for ideological parties is caucuses, which sounds kind of weird because I think there's a lot of at least caucus skepticism. I understand where that comes from because a lot of times caucuses are treated as single issue or block issue coalitions. And that is not my understanding of what a caucus in an ideological party should be. If we think of the Libertarian Party as a vehicle for social change, caucuses are sort of the competing ideas about what the engine should be or how that vehicle should look. It's really important in order to stay fresh and in order to agitate effectively for our ideas and our cause that we do have these competing ideas about how to do that. So for instance, I'm a member of the Radical Caucus, and again, we believe in bold, uncompromising messaging. There are different approaches to these things, but the point of a caucus is really debate and discussion about how we agitate for our ideals. Through what mechanisms do we do that? And then, yes, sometimes individual platform planks take center stage, but it's really about the actions, right? More than it is the particular issues. Given that, there is an important role that caucuses have to play. And initially, when I was thinking about all of this several months ago, I wanted caucuses to have a bigger role, and I still do. But Kyle just sent me a message about LPA being a caucus, which people routinely accuse us of being. But there's also a problem, of course. We've had some caucuses that have directly contravened the party platform and statement of principles. So we want to be able to say, this does represent us, this doesn't represent us. But we also want to be careful because we don't want an LNC to weaponize any power to affiliate or disaffiliate a caucus. There is, we're talking about making caucuses into potentially affiliates, but all caucuses can always exist. You do not have to be an affiliate caucus in order to exist as a caucus within the Libertarian Party. So essentially, we would be allowing, and when I say we, I'm talking about just generally the membership in this setup, the National Committee to enter into affiliate agreements with Libertarian Party caucuses that petition, just like state affiliates now do, on a standard petition form as adopted by the National Committee, adopt the Libertarian Party statement of principles, and are comprised of dues-paying members totaling some percentage of the party's fellow membership and sustaining membership. We don't know that yet. We're workshopping what that would be, what that would look like. Affiliate caucuses would be no different from non-affiliated caucuses. Again, you can have a non-affiliated caucus. The Waffle House caucus can still exist. If Radical Caucus doesn't want to be an affiliate caucus, that can still exist. The difference is that affiliate caucuses would be using Libertarian Party branding and imagery in public communications, be able to publicly address the membership for up to 10 minutes at all National Committee meetings, with the exception of the National Convention, where affiliate caucuses could publicly address membership for up to 20 minutes, and issue regular print communications via official party newsletters, which we need, by the way, we need that too. And notably, appoint 2 eligible members of that caucus to serve on the National Platform Committee as representatives of the caucus's vision. The existence of affiliate caucuses, once again, I have to keep repeating this, like I have to keep on telling Joe that candidates are important. The existence of affiliate caucuses would not preclude the existence of non-affiliated caucuses. And in order to keep disaffiliation from being weaponized, we have very, very specific guardrails about how that would go. So the National Committee could only revoke affiliate status. Let's say you've got a caucus that's just spewing ideological venom, saying things that completely contravene the platform, can still only be disaffiliated for cause by a 7/8 majority of the National Committee at convention only, or a 7/8 majority of the delegates at National Convention only. At no other time could an affiliate caucus be disaffiliated, and there is always that mechanism for appeal. Disaffiliation could only occur as a result of violation of party bylaws or statement of principles, an endorsement in any chapter or affiliate communication of any non-libertarian candidate for office, or language or action in any official capacity that is repeatedly determined to be in direct opposition to one or more planks of the party platform or the statement of principles. So again, this would also apply to state chapters, but it would apply to caucuses in a much more restricted way. You cannot just have a caucus cease to exist. It's about disaffiliating affiliate caucuses with those special privileges. And that can only happen at convention. It can only happen with a 7/8 majority of the LNC or the membership. And again,
I think something's being fundamentally misunderstood.
Yes.
Because Susan's got a question or a point here. This is a very bad idea. It would bleed membership from the state affiliates, would encourage further tribalism. I am not a caucus girly for a reason. The idea is not that you leave your state. A caucus is only, it is affiliated with the party as an official caucus or not. It's not an affiliate in the same way like a state affiliate is, where you can be a member of the caucus and thereby you're a member of the party.
Yeah, you don't choose between a caucus or a state, to be clear.
They are separate.
Yeah, just like now. Caucuses, again, there's just particular privileges that an affiliate caucus would get, such as the 2 members on the platform committee, like you have the state affiliates, etc. If you're going to affiliate caucuses, why have state affiliates? Because they're doing 2 different things. So the state affiliates are like chapters of the LNC, right? A caucus is you can join it or not, right? You can be it's about an ideological approach. I have less, authority over my state affiliate than I do like as a member of a caucus in terms of what's happening, right? So it's about strategy. It's about strategic approach. State is just about location. Why make this change? How does it benefit the LP? It is good it's good to have discussions and debates about how to project our ideals on our platform, right? So we want to give a voice to everyone who has ideas about how to do that. Presumably, caucuses that have sway over a large portion of the membership are representing those members and representing the way that they feel about how change should be effectuated. So it's giving them that platform to say, this is how we look philosophically at how to spread libertarianism. And that's a way to open that discussion. That's a way to have other people looking from the outside in see that, okay, they're a big tent, they have different approaches to libertarianism, but under a common thread. So it's about looking at those discussions.
I'm going to respond to Phil here, and this is a point that Amanda's come up with, so this is me being a parrot, but part of the thing here is that right now, affiliate gives you the sense that you are not actually a part of a thing, but a separate thing that works with a thing. So Amanda has been referring to what are currently state affiliates as chapters. And then the caucuses are affiliates because they are groups that work with national and can use national branding, etc., if and only if they are upholding the libertarian branding, etc. They have to agree to uphold all of the same messaging, or not the same messaging, the same principles and not violate bylaws, etc. They have to be libertarian, but they can argue about strategy. If you look at the LP radicals and you look at the CLC, they're both very successful at bringing people in and having staying power and everything else. They have very different methodologies for doing things. By having people who can get together and refine ideas in a caucus, you then let that caucus come forward at the monthly meeting and then at the national convention to give their pitch and explain what they've been doing or why they're correct, etc. You're giving the caucuses a voice so that everyone can kind of hear what's being said, so that the caucuses aren't as factionalized and held back. One of the things we saw with Mises is, and we're seeing very heavily from the current Mises chair, is this concept that you shouldn't be talking to the other people because only your caucus is correct. And that's crazy. I want to hear from LPRC. I want to hear from the ALC. I want to hear from Mises. I want to hear from all these different viewpoints so that I am better informed and I have different viewpoints that I may not have thought of otherwise. By having them as an affiliate, you give them the time to actually come into these meetings and speak to people. And then, go ahead. This is your idea.
No. It's not just my idea, but it motivates them to be more active, right? So if you're able to go to a meeting and say, here's what we've been doing, here's why you should join us, here's what our members are up to, then you have an incentive to keep doing it. There's a healthy competition between the caucuses instead of this factionalism, right? So it's taking that factionalism and changing it into an arena for sometimes discord, yes, but dissent and debate and working together, while also reaching out to people who are not currently affiliated and saying, look, we're not these crazy factionalists. Here are ideas. Here's how we're putting them forward. It gives them that opportunity. It gives them that sense of, once again, healthy competition and rivalry, while also getting them to communicate with one another through official channels and respond to one another.
It also furthers... So one of the things that Amanda's talked about and I've talked about in the past is how we want to see state wins brought up to the national level and shown. Sometimes caucuses do that work too. And the only people who find out about it are the caucus. you can get an email from your caucus or something and say, oh, look how cool this is. I want to know if CLC, LPRC, ALC, etc. have gone out and done drives and brought money in and raised new members and everything else. I want to hear about that. It's a positive thing. Similarly, like Amanda pointed out with the rivalries, the first time you get two bullheaded asses who are the chairs of caucuses, and the one says to the other one, we raised more money than you. They're in a fight for the next year
in a good
to
way.
prove, right, that they are the superior caucus. And so they're going to try to bring members in. They're going to work harder. The entire thing is effectively carrot. The LP is really bad currently about using stick a lot. You're not a real libertarian. That affiliate sucks. This caucus sucks. It's always a negative thing that's exclusionary, etc. This is a solidarity stream for a reason, because we believe in solidarity.
And it's gone on the "you're not a real libertarian" charge. To go back to the point that Susan and I were discussing, it's a way to say, again, look. So all of the caucuses uphold this statement of principles, right? All of these affiliate caucuses uphold the platform, but look at how differently they do it, right? It's a way of saying there is no one rigid lockstep way to be a real libertarian. People see that openness, they see that opportunity, and they feel less isolated. They feel like, okay, maybe there's a home here. There's a home for people who are more radical. There's a home for people who want to use, just pure policy channels. There's a home for people who are maybe a little bit more socially conservative. There's a home for people who are socially extremely progressive. There's no more of this, only Mises people are the real libertarians. Only radicals are the real libertarians. You get that harmony.
It, sometimes beatings are what improves morale. Just saying. Don't yuck someone else's yum, Dave.
Oh my gosh.
My fellow Davis.
And no, LPA would not be petitioning for affiliate caucus status because we're not a caucus. But it's funny when people say that we are. Phil says, free market competition on both growth and ideological Darwinism. I'm for it, just saying title word. Phil, we will continue to fight about the meanings of words, which I enjoy very much. Kyle and I do it all the time. A lot. Many of our arguments just come down to our using words differently. So I appreciate that.
See, the problem there is that I'm right.
One of the issues, and I'm a real libertarian, one of the issues with caucuses as well, or rather one of the issues with having caucuses have these privileges, right, is we don't necessarily want to be saying... We got a
grumpy gnome in the chat. Yay! Gnome hadn't been around in a while.
Hi, Gnome. We want to, we don't want to be saying, okay, this caucus represents the LNC in its entirety. So by using that designation affiliate, it's not necessarily part of the LNC in its entirety. It is related to the LNC. It is related to the Libertarian Party. It's not even a 100-page thesis this time, Phil. It's not even 100 pages. I'm only on...
It's only 97!
96 and a half, in fact.
4 hours on the stream!
You change the margins. Theses on caucuses. Damn it, Phil. But yes, it's not necessarily... I mean, it is restructuring language, but we did try to make it pithy because, again, we want this to be your stuff. And again, this is why we're bringing these more controversial things to you, right? Because we knew that not everyone was going to love affiliate caucuses. That's okay. We want to talk about them. We want to hear what the issues are. Maybe you've got a really solid point that A, we can try to address or work around, or B, you make a good point where like, oh, maybe this isn't going to work. Let's think about something different. We want that. We want that.
It, the Tuesday Down Wednesday show, what is now the Solidarity stream, was more popular when we were consistently doing an interview on it, etc. We're still doing interviews. Speaking of, Spike Cohen will be on in 2 weeks.
It was also more popular when it wasn't summer, I will say.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true too. So like, we may be hurting our audience numbers or something with this stream. But the people who are here are the people who I think are the most likely to listen and argue and want that change.
You guys are the first movers, and that's important.
And exactly, that's a better way to put it.
To make Phil really mad, I think again I think of states as chapters, and I think previously in prior proposals they've been referred to as franchises. I think Ken Molman referred to them as franchises. It's a similar model. States are chapters of national, franchises of national. So same party, right? But they're just more local
It is, Dave.
and more specific. Only here to argue. We love that. We love that. No.
He's lying, though. Noam is lying here.
He's lying. Why?
Because he is here to argue, but he is also, I guarantee it, at some point going to plug himself as for his run for chair next year. Guarantee it.
Phil's on it tonight. That's because you think of tweets as chapters. Yes, I see. I see what you did there. Tweets are they're Twitter festos. They're tweet these. Tweetsies, but that's wrong. Tweet theses. There we go.
Yep.
Tweetafesto.
Right now, caucuses are treated as separate entities that have to compete for membership and have to compete directly against each other to be heard, etc. If you don't have the resources or you don't have the people to go out and recruit, you don't get heard. And so instead, you get all these people that aren't really the same in their ideologies and everything else in the same area, and every one of the caucuses gets watered down into garbage. If caucuses can have a, narrower ideology and a narrower focus on the way they want to message, whenever I say ideology for this one, I usually get reprimanded, so I'm going to be smarter on this one.
I like that. It's fine.
But they're all part of the libertarian ideology.
That's true.
Yes. So the goal here is to let those caucuses talk to each other and let those caucuses talk to the unaffiliated and make it so that caucuses aren't some stupid fucking social club to go hang out at and do nothing.
Yeah. It is, there's a lot of inactivity in caucuses that can easily be remedied because these are some very, very staunch members. So it's important to be able to encourage that competition without encouraging insularity.
That is a fair point with current national. Yeah. I get it. Right now, even being a member of national kind of sucks. You have to stick with us a little bit on this. There's an entire plan. We're revealing bits of this to try to make sure each bit's worked on really well. And as it gets closer to times for people to actually vote on this and care about it, we'll be giving things as the larger pieces and kind of that wider vision. If you don't understand the components, the wider vision just seems too scary. I promise. It took months for Amanda to get me on board. And I talked to Amanda every day.
Against my
will. 4 hours.
Against my will.
Not always against her will. Sometimes
Usually.
She calls me.
When did I call you?
Call me today.
I called you back. You called me, and then I called you back.
Still counts.
Anyway. Yeah, and this is, again, the virtue of that 55-member LNC, right, where you actually have a representative from each state on the LNC so that you don't have, you don't have these weird gerrymandered regions that are not at all attentive to the concerns of members. You have states that are hearing from each other regularly, working in concert with one another, and you are being rewarded working on a system right now that would have an algorithm to do this, rewarded for activity in your state and then also collaborating with other states and sharing resources and information and ideas on initiatives.
It honestly, Susan, like I'm in LP Georgia. We're in a rough spot right now. I would, you know, I'm very glad to work on LP Georgia, and I'm on LP Georgia XCOM. I'm not like trying to dog LP Georgia here. I would love to be in Texas's spot right now. Texas is one of the best affiliates in the country. And it's because of, 30 years at this point of very hard work. I would also be very scared on the surface for being told, like, we're not going to be a chapter of that dumpster fire, right?
Well, and I want Texas to bring that to national. Like, that's part of it. I want Texas to bring that success and that wisdom to national.
The work that all of you guys have done in Texas is awesome. LP Texas is one of the affiliates that I give to, and I've never lived in Texas and don't intend to. Your state's too hot. Georgia's too hot, and Texas is hotter. I'm not moving there. When it comes to heat, I'm a big whiny bitch.
What many other things do.
She's just mad that I'm bougie.
You are. But you donate to LP Texas, which is deserved. So good on you.
I don't donate to all of LP Florida, but I do donate to Pinellas County because they're based.
What else?
Donate to LP Georgia, lifetime member.
No, I'm not saying where else do you donate. I'm saying what else is ready for discussion right now.
You do have the best barbecue, and other people can fight me with this. Amanda's like, no animals. And I'm like, we'll get there someday. Right now, you can go look at a lot of the people on the LNC, and you'll see that they are in every one of the major caucuses. Because that's the way that they're listening to the people there. I got the... Hold on, John. I got it right here.
No attention span. None.
I don't.
None of it.
Tax this ass. I won from LPF this year.
You're reversed. Because you're vain and you have a mirror image. There we go.
Tax this peach. When your leadership has to be part of every messaging group just to have an idea of what that group's messaging is going to be, that's a problem. As far as like folks from LP Texas that I know do this, tax this ass, Cam. Hell yeah. Paul Dar is in all the caucuses. Oh gosh. I'm sorry, Jeff. I don't know why I'm not remembering your last name. Miller. Jeff Miller is in all the caucuses. And it's to be able to see and talk to everybody and make sure that everything's understood so that they've got the best possible like messaging from that. The suggestion here brings that to everybody. And it lets, if you're down and out and tired about something because maybe your state sucks, because there are states that right now suck. I cannot imagine how much it must suck to be in New Mexico as a libertarian right now. There's like 5 active members total. It's real hard to care about trying to do statewide things when you're by yourself. If you can instead look and say, Arizona's doing shit. Clearly the people in the area can do shit. Southern California's doing shit. And you look around and you say, this caucus is doing things. Maybe with the people I know, I can get more people into that caucus and get them excited again.
And the thing is, caucuses are dispersed, right? So they're not confined to a particular state or region. So it allows you, once again, to do that interstate work organically without needing to go through all these weird crazy channels, caucuses have many virtues. I respect people who don't feel that any of them represent them. And I'm not going to try and convince everyone to be part of a caucus, but that is another way
Yes, she is.
to cultivate that. I just want them to be part of the Amanda caucus. That's all. Soon there will be only one caucus. No, I want to cultivate that sense of camaraderie and fellowship between states.
LP Alabama is building right now. And we've talked with Sam Bowler on here before. We really like Sam. He just got the at-large spot with the LNC. And I think that his work in the Madison County, the Mad Cow affiliate, they are going to do great stuff with Alabama eventually, but they're growing. And so if LP Georgia could lend a hand, and LP Tennessee could lend a hand, and Mississippi, and maybe even Louisiana, and I guess Florida, they probably have something of worth somewhere, and also Joe. You can get the job done quicker. It lets people lean on each other when they need to and they think they're alone. Nobody fights well alone.
And that's part of why it's so, this division is really harmful, and part of why states being fragmented is not good. We want you to care about what's going on in Arkansas. We want to care about what's going on in California. We are part of LP National. If we're only in our own states, then that work on the national level that's getting attention across states is not going to be as powerful, as potent.
It's true. Joe's hair is pretty incredible. See it in person.
Being the Joe's Hair Caucus.
There are some alien tech in those follicles. Damn it, Phil!
So much.
You make this too easy.
He spells the word 3 times. Solders.
It was singular too.
Mm-hmm.
It was just solder.
Mm-hmm.
Or solder, if it was actually being used that way, but it wasn't. Womp womp.
But yeah, we don't want it to be weaponized. We don't want it to be weaponized by the LNC, where you can just reward caucus or affiliate caucus status to your pet caucus, right? It needs to be very difficult to disaffiliate, nearly impossible. But when a caucus is behaving terribly, there needs to be a mechanism for that. It can still exist in the Libertarian Party, do all of its caucusy things, but just loses some of that oomph that comes with the affiliate status, just addressing the membership routinely, publishing in party newsletters, which we need, and getting those 2 members on the platform committee. Caucuses should help influence the platform. They should not be the only voices that do that. We should have plenty of unaffiliated people on platform committee. That's super important, but they should have a voice, especially if they have enough members to be representative of a lot of the individuals that do work in this party. And we've got to get people more active so that we can get those donors, we can get that money, we can get members, and actually have a formidable political presence. If Kyle is playing a capybara game, I'm going to lose it.
Okay. We got a question on how people could watch the stream if they don't use Twitter or YouTube. So for anybody watching,
Facebook.
We are also on Facebook, just in case you're over the age of 50. Or me.
Aren't we on Rumble?
I don't think we are at the moment. Okay. We need to be over on Rumble.
And you can go to, it's going to be Apple Podcasts. Kyle needs to claim it. Go to Spotify right now. And we are putting our entire podcast suite up there, LP Alliance Podcasts. It is a long and arduous process. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to upload a single episode. But we do it for you, the people.
So I believe that is basically what we're looking at. There was info in the minutes from the LNC uploaded to the LP website, but since they moved the site, the file isn't found. Well, you have access to the WordPress, and the old site is still there. So it might still be there. I think that's a good indication for tonight about the things going on and the ideas, so people can, digest a bit, yell at us, and tell us what we're thinking correctly or incorrectly.
Come on a stream. I want people to come on streams and talk with us about that.
Speaking of, Trendlin was in the chat.
Okay.
She asked if the COC could come on at some point as a way to plug the 2026 convention.
Okay.
Which I think is probably a cool thing. Especially if we can, use that to get some table money back, maybe.
But yeah, if you disagree with us, or just have a point that you want to raise, or are looking at something a little bit differently, come on, and we will talk. And I will promise not to let Kyle yell at you.
So, thanks everybody for hanging out with us for another hour and a half.
Business list is tomorrow.
It's coming. There it is. Gnome plugging himself right at the end. Business list tomorrow. I feel like there's some other stuff on the 20th. So next Wednesday, Tom Huiter will be with us with the Mobility Independence Foundation. Tom is an excellent libertarian out of New York whose life has been difficult because of the government on top of some physical ailments. The government has made it almost impossible for him to get a wheelchair and almost impossible for him to get mobility tools, so he decided he was going to make his own. So he'll be around next week. And then the week after, that Saturday, the 30th, we'll have Spike Cohen on. So for all the people that, only really care about Spike Cohen out of all the libertarians, we'll talk to him. So catch everybody soon. Catch you guys tomorrow with a business list where we'll